You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Pedasso Show. This show is for biologically and emotionally mature audiences. If you should not be here, please go away. We'll still be here when you're mature enough to partake. Mwah!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Stuart Pedasso Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Jayden.
Jayden's with me, and Melissa is not here because we're not in our home. We're not at Dickoff Studio. That's the name of the studio, Dickoff.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Dikoff.
Oh, where's the K? I mean, where's the C?
No, it's not.
It's
actually the name of a family.
Oh, gotcha.
Most of them are in South Dakota, but the ones we talk about are the ones in North Dakota.
Oh.
And it's a really long story.
Okay.
It has to do with the night my wife seduced me. Not seduced like all the way kind of thing, but
right.
The night she pounced and finally was done stalking me.
Ooh,
and made her
it.
intentions be known.
Claws in.
Yeah, and her way of like, okay, let's do this. So there was this city, and I can't remember the name of the city or town or whatever in North Dakota. I want to say Ferguson, but I know that's not it. And for some reason, she had this centennial of the town, their 100-year anniversary, and it looked like a town yearbook.
Ooh,
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
So we're looking through this together, right? And there's really 5 families. Like it was like a lot of inbreeding going on. And there's just these families, and they're all the same families with one exception. And there's one little family called the Dickoffs. And we just thought that was so funny, and that name always stuck. So when it was time to like just come up with a fake name for the studio, I off the top of my head I went, "Hey, Dickoff Studio." We all thought that was funny. And so when you go on Stuart's Instagram, like all of our posts on the show, it's from location. It says Dickoff Studio.
Oh, I love it. You should get a sign on top of it. Like,
we thought about it. Yeah. We just figured someday someone in the Dickoff family is going to see this and go, "What the fuck, dude?"
That would suck.
Yeah.
To be like, my whole family, dude. It's the name of your podcast.
Well, it's not the name of the podcast, but it's the name of our studio.
Or studio.
Yeah. So,
I'd be honored. Actually, I think I would be like.
We don't make fun of it, just because it sounds like it has the word dick in it, or off, right? We don't make fun of it.
No.
We let other people do that. We don't have to do that.
Yeah, it's not our job. However, other people interpret things is on them.
It is. So we're in Arizona, so we're not back at Dickoff Studio in the hometown, and so Melissa's off doing whatever she's doing, and Jay was so nice to agree to come on and babble with us for a while.
I love babbling.
And is it okay if I disclose our relationship?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what? I just think that's some random stranger I picked up on the side of the road in Arizona.
I had my thumb out, and it happened. Yeah. Got in the car.
I said, "I'll give you a ride if you come on my show."
I was like, I don't know.
I've had weeks. Yeah, I look kind of shifty. I totally don't blame you.
Got my pocket knife in my pocket.
It sounds weird. Have I ever? You're my niece.
Yes.
I never really thought of it that way.
It's wild. I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna say Uncle Dave, which is like your brother.
No one calls.
How is that? You're my. Yeah.
No one calls me. No one called me. I felt weird.
Uncle Dave?
Yeah.
I remember when I was little, I really wanted to call you Uncle Davey. Like that was my goal in life, was to call you Uncle Davey, and then it never stuck.
You have to.
I don't think I want to anymore.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Uncle Dave is a solid.
If I ever got a phone call, Uncle Davey, I'd know too.
That's
I'm just
true.
saying that could
That's
be our
true.
thing. That's totally.
I'll change it in my contacts in the phone. Uncle Davey. Should I-E or E-Y though? That's the real question here.
Well, that's on you.
Okay. Oh gosh, stressful question.
Oh.
Putting it on myself.
No. Well, you'll be the only one who knows, so really it doesn't matter. You could change it.
I could do I-E-Y.
You could. You
both
with 4 M's and a silent Q.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You
sure.
do whatever you want. So but you don't live here either.
No, I live in Portland.
In Portland. So all I can talk about is what I see on, well, not the TV, but in the internet news, and we all know how accurate that is.
Oh yeah, so accurate.
So it sounds like instead of like weather and clouds, you just have like tear gas all over the town.
Oh yeah, I mean it's daily occurrence there. Not really.
Okay.
It's settled down, I think, in the tear gas section,
Okay.
but it's been hailing in April, and that's the first time it's ever hailed in April this year.
And the cops are doing that?
Not this time.
Okay.
Not this time.
The cops cloud. They're seeding the clouds. Well, that'd be a new weapon.
Oh, right. No, I mean, if they would do hail, I'm sure that they would put something in the hail to just further that chemical seep into the water.
Cops got a cop.
Yeah.
That's how they roll. So, in any of the stuff that was going down there in Portland, Oregon, because we do have the occasional listener of our tens of listeners from other countries. Mm-hmm. So, and I've discovered it's really interesting that people, I don't know, what was that, an owl?
Yeah, that was an owl. I was like, whoa.
Well, knowing my family, that could be my dad just kind of fucking around and going, ooh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I can do that, too. I can do the little songbird. I don't know if I can do it.
You were doing it the other...
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. For the podcast.
Oh yeah, we're doing nature show. Yeah, it's Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
That's all I can do. It runs out.
Yeah, so we're here with the fam. So again, we're using this new microphone that I have, and we took 10 minutes to get it going right. So you guys don't stop talking.
Please continue to talk.
Okay, that's fine.
To you though.
Oh, all right. Well, there's one less download we're gonna have. You're gonna hear this new one. I'm just kidding.
Ooh, something flew in my hair.
Yeah.
Felt like a bird.
So, okay, now I got. Well, I'm gonna go back to Portland.
Okay,
Whatever
yeah,
I missed,
Portland.
I'm going back to Portland. So, like it was all the craziness around Black Lives Matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't live in at the time you weren't in the city proper.
No, I lived in the suburbs for
Right.
about 18 years.
Right.
I moved to Woodburn, which is a small town country place, kind of on like 40 minutes from Portland. And I lived there for a year in a retirement center.
Which is where
we are right now.
How did you get to a retirement community?
My dad, 55 or over, and so he's like he just turned 55 and he got a
dad's
spot.
old, I forgot.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my god, that's really funny.
So I hung out with all the older ladies, and I worked at a farm store, and older people would come in too. But yeah, it was retirement for me. I think I needed a year of just not doing anything, or maybe just working at a farm, and then I ended up moving to Portland with three friends from summer camp because I was a camp counselor for a bit, and so we're just living it up in Portland now.
So, and you're in school now.
Yes.
Yes. So, because a lot of folks say they're going to take a year off and then they go and
Yeah.
you never hear from them again. But you actually did it.
Yeah, I remember being in Woodburn because most of it was online, and they just started going back to in person, and I remember just not wanting to drive. So I took another term off because I was online. Took another term off, and then I was like, I'm never going back to school, ever. And then I went to an aquarium, and they were teaching me about all the ecosystems underwater, and I was like, oh god, I have to go back to school because I want to get more knowledge of just the world around us.
And and that's you're in school now for.
Yeah, I was doing environmental science.
Right.
And I also realized that school is not a environment in which I learn in. So I'm graduating next term with an associates of science,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to do hands-on experience in agriculture just around the country. I'm going to drive to different farms and work there and live there, and just, I think, being like kinesthetic, like being able to touch the plants that I'm learning about.
The cliche is the hands-on.
Hands-on experience,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Wow. So have you? It's not okay. So at the beginning, I was asking you shit I already knew. This shit I don't know. So now I'm asking you this because I really want to know, not just making a show here. So, and I'm not saying you have to, but do you have like a map where you know you're going to go here? Have you looked
No.
at what places you're going to go?
Not really.
Are you going to? Or are you just literally going to just drive until you run into a farm?
I think There's this app online called Woof, and it's where farmers post like, hey, I would love a helper on my farm to live here with me and work on our farm.
For fuck's sake, there's an app for everything.
It's online, yeah. And so if I sign up, there was one in Portland that I was going to do, and I just got so busy that I wasn't able to go on that farm. Yeah, I kind of ghosted her. I felt really bad for that. But to be able to go to different places and learn from actual farmers who have lived there their whole lives is just very interesting to me. Very exciting.
Yeah, I know you'll be shocked by this, but if somehow in your travels you make it up to the area around Dickoff's studio,
Yes.
see how I tie things back?
Yeah.
I know people.
You know people.
Actually, I know people, but I know one person who is like, okay, I'm going to butcher it. I'm like totally making up her title, but it's something like she's like the freaking president of the Northeastern Organic Farmers Association.
Wow,
and she's based out of Rochester. And she's pretty fucking awesome.
Right.
And
people usually are.
Yeah, but she, like to the point where like she intimidates the crap out of me. And no one intimidates the crap out of me, and she intimidates me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I totally want to meet her now.
No, I mean in a good way.
Yes.
I don't mean like she
yeah.
she chases me with a rake. I don't mean that.
No, but like the power, like you can just sense
she knows her shit so well. So one of the times I ran for office, I had this brilliant idea. I had discovered kind of like Columbus, like who didn't really discover because it existed all along, but I'm going to be Columbus in this case. And I discovered seed paper.
Oh, right.
Where people make paper and they embed seeds in them of whatever plants.
Yeah, there's lollipops of that too, where the stick is seeds, and you eat your lollipop and then throw it out.
Oh, I hadn't heard. Oh, cool. So I thought this would be an awesome kit because I'm running as I'm Green Man, and to make seed paper, take seed paper and put like the campaign logo and the website on there, and totally, not poison ink or whatever it was. I can't remember the guy who did it for me. He told me what it was made of. I don't know what it was. And then I would give those out. And I went up and I was, Liz, look what I did. I was so proud. I thought she was going to be, Dave, you're amazing. I will never intimidate you again. And she was like,
what kind of seeds?
Well, that's what she goes.
That?
She goes, what seeds are in there? And I go, it's basil and parsley, and I want to say oregano, but I can't remember. Let's just say it's oregano. She goes, well, Dave, those 3 seeds need different things. They need different depths in water. And I'm like, Liz, come on, help me here, will you? I'm just trying to do something good. And she was like, okay, I understand. I'm like, once again, she intimidated me with her knowledge.
They're going to have to, take that paper and, rip each individual seed out and put it in individual pots to, get the right consistency.
So after that, when everyone said, will it really grow? I'm like, in theory. Something will. I don't.
Right.
No one ever got back to me and said it did or it didn't, so I don't know. But it was a good thought.
Yeah, I mean, seeds last forever, so someone could have it in their folder for 10 years and then pop it in some soil and be like, whoa, call you up 10 years from now.
Maybe. So anyway, so if you ever make it up there, I will totally hook you up with Liz. She's amazing. And I can't remember the name of the specific one she really focuses on. But she does work and helps out other farms as well in the area, and so she would know. I mean, by all means, use the app.
Yeah.
But Liz would also, and you could totally pick her brain and hang out, and
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's totally.
Oh, for sure. I want to go to different states. I don't know the path that I'm gonna go on. I know it's gonna work out, or I'll get murdered. Either one.
Oh my God. You're like fucking Johnny Appleseed. Holy shit! It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited and
Jayden
scared.
Appleseed.
Jayden Appleseed.
I love it.
Yeah. I could do a different type of seed. I could do any Jayden. No, I like Jayden Appleseed.
Well, it's fine,
classic.
but it's just linguistically, it's got the same kind of syllable thing. It's got to flow like that. Doesn't it have to be?
No, I love it.
Jayden kumquat seed doesn't really flow.
No.
Right,
I was like, oh, pomegranate, but that doesn't work either. No, that's too long. It's okay.
I do kind of like it though.
Pomegranate seed?
Yeah.
There's.
Here comes Jayden pomegranate seed.
It doesn't work in the song.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
I think apple seed.
All right. Well, for now, we'll keep tentatively apple cider.
It'll pop to me later.
Yeah, no worries.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Jesus, that was funny. So, all right. Just look at the time. This is weird because it's been a long time since I've done a show on the laptop and using the new mic and
Working out. We got candles over here.
we do. Yeah, we're out in the dark, out in the back the patio, and the rest of the fam and friends are behind us talking. I don't know if the mic's picking that up. If it is, it's in the background.
Yeah.
We've definitely done live shows before at bars and some art shows,
Oh, really?
stuff like that.
Does it
yeah.
pick out or pick up background
It
noise?
sounds like you know,
like you're busy, but it's
yeah,
not.
like you're in a cafeteria kind of thing or something, like background stuff you like
Right.
to hear. In fact, I don't know if I told you. Did I tell you where we're going to be next week?
No.
We are going to be doing our show from the Rochester Erotic Arts Festival.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. So it's 2 days, and we have a table in the vendors area.
Oh.
And I've got the schedule of people who are going to be doing workshops and entertainment people, and I have to admit, the trip here to Arizona kind of like really took up a lot of time. So but I have reached out to a couple and said, hey, we're doing this podcast and we're going to be at a table. Please just come by whenever you have a minute. And then between me and Melissa, I'm going to do this. Yeah, Melissa and me, we're going to, like, one of us has to stay at the table, and we're just going to wander around and just kind of go, hey, if you got a second, you're cool selling dildos and ropes. You should come over and do our show. And then I get the glory after the 2 days of this of taking it and editing it into a show or two.
That's awesome. I'll
Yeah.
have to look at that one too.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, in a lot of the workshops, I looked at the schedule, is just nothing that I'm really into that much. But that's cool. That's kind of the cool thing about it.
You get to hear all the experiences and
So why do you like to wear diapers?
I love to wear diapers because
That's
it's
gonna be-
easy, convenient.
No, but for these folks, it's their sex play.
Oh, really?
Right.
Oh, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, like baby play. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember what
Oh,
it's
baby play, right. Oh, and like having like the baby bottles and suckers and stuff like that. No, yeah. I've heard of that one. I mean, what does it for you does it for
We're
you.
freaking out the old folks. It was awesome. You know, when you walk into a room and like somebody's saying a sentence that just like, you
Yes.
only get that sentence and it's really awkward.
I know, I think Mom's waiting for that sentence.
Yeah. Oh, she doesn't. Just the awkward sentence we say that's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
You weren't listening until that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, so that's gonna be. Though we have this thing. Oh, I'll do this to you. I'll practice.
I'm ready.
Because for everyone we interview, as a quote joke, but some may have a real thing, we're gonna ask them because we're out. What's your safe word?
Oh,
And
that's
some
a good
won't.
one.
And if they don't, I'll say, well, make one up. What's your safe word?
Oh my gosh. The
So-
first thing that comes into
Yeah,
mind is peaches because 2 reasons.
That's interesting.
2 reasons. There was in Ice Age, there's this like scene where the I don't even know what he's like a man. His name is Manny,
Okay.
and he has a wife who's pregnant. He's like, when you're pregnant, yell out peaches. Like when you're going into labor, when you're having this, yell peaches. And so they're like they get separated. There's dinosaurs trying to eat them, kind of thing. And she goes into labor, and she's like listening out all the fruits because she can't think of the word peaches. And he's like, what is she saying? Like, why does she want apples right now? And she's like, what, peaches? And then he realizes it, freaks out, and is like, so what if that happens to you? Like, if you have a safe word but you don't really know it,
Yeah.
what happens if you're like trying to think of your safe word and it doesn't come up?
I don't know.
That'd be scary.
Yeah. Especially depending on what you're doing.
Oh my god, right?
Right.
Diaper action?
Would you need a safe word for diaper action? I think it'd be
Some-
more rope kind of things or something. But
I'm thinking like, have you seen 2 Girls, 1 Cup? That went around when I was in middle school.
what?
2 Girls, 1 Cup. This is the part where you would cut it out of the podcast because, I mean, you don't have to, but
I wasn't planning on it. But no.
it's like 2 girls, they like poop in a cup, and
Okay.
then with the cup, they're just having a fun time with that cup. And it's scarred me in middle school because it was going around like everybody's like, oh my gosh, watch this video.
like on
It's on some website.
okay.
But it was called 2 Girls, 1 Cup. And so a lot of the I don't know if everybody knows
So
in my age range.
I gotta add. So like, how big of a cup was this?
It's a solid size. It's like almost like this size. It's not as
a tumbler
round
kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, and it gets really messy. It's all over.
I was gonna say I'm mildly impressed because I don't think I can target poop.
No,
I don't think I can.
No,
so.
and I wouldn't want to like eat it either. I think that's just my preference, but that's a main facet of that video.
I don't think there's anybody going to be at the Erotic Arts Festival who's... I don't remember seeing the schedule in terms of anything like that.
Yeah, no. I mean, if there is, make sure you eat pineapple and... Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Last night, I was scared because I went to the bathroom and my number 2 was red and I was freaking out because it was like purple and red.
Dude.
And it was because of the beets. We had beets the other night, and I ate a lot of those beets because they were so good. Marcy makes really good beets. But I was so concerned.
I didn't know that, because I'm not a beet person, so I actually have...
Yeah, it scared me. I was like, what? Purple? I've never seen purple poop before. It was intense, but I put 2 and 2 together eventually.
Did you? I would at least do a web search quick just to make sure that's what it was. Because logically it makes sense, but just to be safe,
in case,
just
purple
in case.
Poop. That should be a Dr. Seuss rhyme. Something.
The purple oogly mooglies or something. So I was given. So we were gonna go to this thing last year, and literally the day before we were supposed to go, I got COVID.
Oh.
So we weren't able to. So Melissa and I had it worked out. We already had this plan. We were gonna ask everyone what their safe word was. And so we just same like, well, what if someone says, well, what's your safe word? I gotta have a safe word. I don't have a safe word. And while mine's not your safe word,
right.
It is semi in the same genre because I didn't have one. And Melissa said, your safe word should be pastrami.
Pastrami?
And I was like, okay, sure. I couldn't think of anything I wouldn't want it to be.
It's a long one. I would forget that one.
Well, now I know it's so unique that
right.
And I was like, okay, pastrami. Sure. I don't know why she thought of that. She never told me why.
Ooh.
Well, like the worst safe word would be like more.
Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That's just not.
Something that's like,
You're either not smart or you really don't want a safe word.
Yes. I think peaches might be my go-to. I said there was 2 reasons. There was a movie where something happened with peaches. I don't want to get into that. It's gross.
Okay. Oh. Wow.
I know.
Wait a minute. What did peaches have to do with the poop in a cup?
No, we were talking about diaper play.
Oh, okay.
And then
I'm
it
sorry.
got into poop,
sorry.
and then it got into like.
I got.
Yeah.
All right, sorry,
okay.
my brain got. Yeah. No.
Falls down the stream.
Okay, we're good. So, all right. All right. So, like we talked about a little bit before, usually we don't do a lot of prep, but there was something I did definitely totally wanted to talk to you about, and because again, this is not something you and I have talked about before.
Yeah.
I say this not proudly, but just kind of matter of factly, and just like, okay, that's just my role in the family. I tend to be the last to know about everything. Even before you were born, the aunts would die, and I would find out 2 weeks after the funeral.
Oh, damn.
You didn't, nobody I'd be super close to, but it was still wait,
you want to know?
Aunt Mary died? I would have went to the funeral. Nobody told you. That has happened. So I would hear things, but not bad, but it would always be you'd be already in college.
Yeah.
What, really? So, and just correct me if I'm saying it in a way that's not the way it should be said, but your birth name?
My birth name is Tessa.
No, I know, but is that birth name? Is that what we'll call it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, birth name. It's different for everybody, so mine's birth name.
Okay. So, yeah. So that, which, like we just said, is not your name now.
Yeah.
So do you mind just giving the story of how that's progressed?
For sure.
Because you are currently how old?
20.
Right.
I had to think about it.
That's all right. So from birth, and there was not just a one day kind of thing. There's been some progressions, and I've never sat down and talked to you about it. And I'm literally, if you don't mind, I'm going to sit back with my local beer from a employee-owned Native American brewery.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay.
So so how did that progress from Tessa to where you are now?
Wow.
I know.
Like,
You got plenty of time.
I think it started in middle school. I went
Who brainwashed you?
Oh, the frogs. Ooh. So it was probably middle school. I went to it was an art school, middle and high school, and most people there were queer, just kind of how we all came together. And like sexuality was a big thing there, and gender was a big thing there. So
In middle school.
Yeah, it was a very open school.
So let me be that person.
Yeah.
Not really that person, but I mean, let me do so you can speak to this. No way! Someone in middle school could never know how they roll and who they like,
Right.
and no way that you could know you're queer in middle school. Bullshit?
I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll shut my ass up, man. All right.
Well, I didn't for a while, and it kind of more like, oh, that makes sense. It wasn't more of like, oh yeah, I knew this. It was
But people you went to school with knew.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so being able to connect to what they've talked about and what they were feeling, I was able to be like, oh, I resonate with that too. Like, oh, I see, like wanting to be with this girl isn't about, like, that's not a weird thing. That's just what I feel.
So you kind of felt that way, but you really didn't know what that was about, and you thought it
Yeah.
was kind of weird. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was weird or not because, well, even before middle school, it was like kids camp. I don't know how old I was, probably like 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
I went behind a tree with some girl and we're like, let's play mommy and daddy. And I was the daddy. And we just made out behind this tree. And that was my first kiss, I was 6 behind this tree with this other girl. And I hadn't thought about it until middle school. And I was like, oh.
And do you still talk to her?
No. That's how it goes. I was ghosted.
You slut.
Yeah. I had a couple girlfriends in middle school. They were middle school
Girlfriend. Yeah, I know what you
girlfriends,
mean.
not at
Like
all.
when they say we're dating and you don't
Yes.
go anywhere, you don't date. Yeah, no, I know, I get it.
hold
I know.
hands in the class and it's
Oh,
all
yeah.
scary, but then
Oh, yeah.
they don't talk to you the next day and then it's over.
Oh, that's
You know.
fun. Yeah.
Have a little, like, one tear and then I'm like over it. So,
Kind of
Yeah.
me and my wife.
a friend of mine named Skylar came out as trans and started showing his true self by being a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a while to get used to that because I was like, how can you be able to do that? Like, just change your gender. It's wild. And I thought about it more, and eventually I came to the conclusion that, like, oh, maybe I'm a guy too. So I changed my name to Riley. That was that was my first name change. And I went by he, him pronouns. I think it went from, like, I was like, oh, maybe they, he, or like they, them, or she, and then it landed on he, him. And for about 3.5 years, I was a guy, Jayden the trans guy. And it felt relieving in some sense of being able to be open about it, and like my mom and dad were super supportive, and I mean, parents sometimes try to be supportive, so I think they were trying to be supportive, and they were in the way that they could. High school rolled around and I started feeling less like a guy, and I felt very trapped in a box for myself. Not that gendered things are gendered things. Not that, like, clothing is gendered, or that's just how society sees it, but I felt like, oh, what if I want to wear a dress one day? Like, what's up with that? Why can't I do that? And then I would think at night, I'd be like, you know what? I'm secretly non-binary. Nobody has to know. This is just my secret. So I'm still a guy to everybody else, but I can hold this in. I can for as long as it takes, because I didn't want to have to deal with being non-binary, because that's scary.
Is it?
Yeah, being trans is very scary too. trans in general is being scary, and then non-binary can fall under that. But going back and forth between genders felt so frightening. I'm gonna take this jacket off because I'm sweaty now.
You're sweating. No, we're outside, so we're getting like, I guess I'm feeling bugs and stuff.
Right.
And it's all good.
Yeah, and I don't talk about it a lot either. And so this is my bodily response to like things coming up.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, I was saying something and I forgot.
I was still like the interesting part about how for 3-ish years or whatever you were
Yeah,
trans,
I
and
wanted
then-
to cut my tits off,
right
and
but-
everything.
Yeah, but they I find that funny, whatever you want to call it. Not haha, but I thought it interesting. That's about it. I just found that interesting that you were willing to be out there and proud and all that, but that binary was still kind of weird and scary.
Yeah.
That's just
It's so interesting because I feel like if I was able to put myself in this box of being a guy, I had the ability to follow something. I could wear men's clothes and be like, I'm a guy because I wear men's clothes. And
Okay.
then, yeah.
Well, see, okay, you said that term a few times, and I'm not doing therapy here,
Yeah.
but I'm just putting yourself in a box. It sounds, when you say it that way, it says to me that you didn't go, oh, really? This is what I realize, what I really am. It sounds like you put yourself there.
I think so. Yeah. That's a better way.
And it wasn't at first. You realized that later on.
Yeah, and I mean, even so, when I first came out as a guy, it shifted. I mean, you saw me grow up, I think, right? I was dresses, princess. This neighbor thought,
Oh my God!
my name was
you were
Ariel.
You were such a princess.
I was such
Holy
a princess.
Shit.
I know, and this.
You didn't call me Uncle Dave, but you were still like Dave, and you were very princess-like. Yes,
very-
you were.
This neighbor came over to this potluck in the neighborhood, like a year ago, and was talking to my mom. Was like, "How is your daughter Ariel?" Because I would go around saying princess name. I would be a new princess every day.
That's oh my God,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
And so I rejected that part of me when I came out as trans, when I came out as a trans male, and I just pushed it aside and thought it was wrong that I was like, and that's so interesting because for a lot of trans people, it is wrong. They would put on those dresses and despise it. I think I don't know if I paid attention enough to despise it. Like, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm like thinking, oh, but now, okay. So in a box, and the box is not real. It's like not an actual box I put myself in. It's like a mind box of like,
Yeah,
oh,
of
you
course.
can't do that. And eventually I agreed with myself. I'm like, okay, this isn't working out if I'm, I don't know. I don't know how to like keep going from where I was.
It didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right. I didn't mind the pronouns. Like sometimes even now, the doctor's office called me and it was he, him under. It was like, oh, is Jayden there? He needs an appointment. I was like, yeah, this is Jayden. And they're like, this is Jayden? Yes, yep, this is Jayden. So Jayden, he needs, I'm like, okay, I'll be there. It was kind of nice. So it wasn't the pronouns that were a problem. I think it was I don't know what it was. I think I'm still trying to figure that out.
Oh, no, I wasn't. When I asked you to start this journey with me, I wasn't thinking we were going to get to the end of the story.
Oh, definitely
You know what I'm
not.
saying? Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. No, so I'm not expecting.
Yeah.
And this is it now, and this is it.
Right.
Never changing, and
And I wholeheartedly knew that I was a trans male, and I think I was. I definitely think that it felt so relieving and felt so nice to be a guy for those 3 years. And then something gradually shifted.
the jock itch sucked, though, didn't it?
Oh my gosh, painful.
That's what I'm saying. I hated that.
It shifted, and then COVID hit, I think. And
Okay.
no, it was right before that. It was before COVID hit.
Okay.
I was going to this spiritual summer camp that I go to every year, and again, I was still in the mindset of like, I'm not going to tell anybody. Nobody needs to know. And I talked with a good friend of mine. His name is Ben. And I just like cried for a good 30 minutes being like, what the fuck is up? I am a girl for most of my life. And then I'm a guy for 3 years. And now I don't even know. And I was so mad. I was so angry that I wasn't sure of who I was. And he was just there supporting me. I forgot what he said. He probably said something very wise because he's a very wise person.
I'm sure he did.
I still call him up. But, and we went with a group from, it was like the Portland group. We went all together and I sat with them all because they were my friends. And I told them, I was like, yeah, my pronouns are no longer he, him. I think I said like she, they pronouns or something. I don't remember, honestly. It's all mixed together. But they were loving and supporting, as that group is. And I went on with my life and thought, you know what? I'm a girl now. And that did not work out. I really wanted to be one or the other. And I was a girl.
We're trained that way.
We are.
Yeah.
That's so true. I had fun, though. I bought a lot of dresses. I dyed my hair orange. I loved that orange hair. I miss that orange. I would dye my hair orange again. And it still felt off.
If you would have told me that earlier, we could have done that this week. But you could have dyed your hair.
Oh my gosh, so true. I just shaved it from it being dyed black and red.
Oh, okay.
So I can't. I need it to grow out a bit more. I like my little.
Next, if we come back next year.
Yeah, I'll have a hair bun.
All right. I won't.
I mean, well, that's true.
I won't have it.
If I do an undercut, I'll give you the undercut hair, and then you can just glue it on.
Yeah, that's just not gonna happen.
It could be orange. It'll match.
It's already good. We're good. I'll just support you if that's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Still felt off. And I didn't know why. I was so mad still. Oh yeah, COVID hit. I was smoking pot every day. I worked at Dairy Queen. Like you do. I worked at Dairy Queen.
Like you do.
Like you do. Made blizzards.
We can end every sentence with that. Like you do.
I don't remember much of that.
Well, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Try to find where I start to remember.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Ooh. I was just. It didn't matter my pronouns, and it didn't matter what I looked like in that space when I was high. And I did a lot of soul searching, and I was just me. Until I went back to school and until things started opening back up. And I was being perceived again by people. And...
Can I ask you about that?
Yeah.
For a second? Can you give me I'm sorry, I hate when people do this to me, too.
Please
Give me an example of, because I can never think of anything. Mm-hmm. But when you said you were being, how did you know people were perceiving you in a certain way? And I'm not asking you that because I don't believe you.
Right.
I'm genuinely curious. Actually, your mom and I have been having these kind of discussions all week in terms of trying to think of how other people think.
Right.
So it fascinates me, if someone perceives you in a certain way, and even if it's not the right perception, why they would give a fuck.
Right.
So I'm just wondering, do you remember anybody doing or saying anything that you were getting that vibe that they were perceiving you in a certain way? And even if no, that's okay. I'm genuinely, because I'm curious about that. I'm kind of getting eventually to asking about those people. Because those people,
right.
As much as I would like those people to go away, because I'm tired
they're
of
always
those people.
They're always going to be there.
I know. But they do fascinate me, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just wondering.
For sure.
So how did you pick up on people perceiving you to be in a certain way?
One example, this is when I was a guy, and I went to a pool, and there was this big blow up thing, and I ran across it because, like you do,
Yeah.
and I fell in the water, and it was so cool.
No, you're not supposed to run in a pool.
No, it's on those. It's on the pool, and it's
Okay.
a floaty thing, so
Okay.
you're over the pool.
Okay.
And that's the point, is you try to run across to the other side and see if you can tip over. And I got really close to the other end.
Okay.
I was like, I was kind of proud. And this one kid was like, look at how close he got. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's my friend. I was like, and I got kind of excited. I got that little jitter of like euphoria. And then his friend next to him was like, that's not a he, that's an it.
Oh.
Ooh, I went inside after that.
Okay. People suck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he was young, and I'm sure he's heard that from other people, so it's not...
It's me teaching
Yeah.
middle school and ninth grade stuff. No, I know.
All day.
All day. No, I totally...
And then when I started presenting more feminine, I would wear makeup. I had my cute orange hair. Oh my gosh, so cute. And I would wear feminine clothes. I noticed people holding the door open for me more, and I noticed people watching me more and giving me looks and just kind of creeping me out. There's one guy sat next to me. I was going to class. He sat next to me on the bus, and I was like on the wall. I'm never sitting on the wall of a bus again. And he just looked at me. For the 20-minute bus ride, he looked at me and he was breathing heavy, and I was like, I'm not okay. And he kept looking at my phone, and I should have just said, hey, can you move please? This is my stop or something. But I waited until my actual stop came up, and I was like, this is my stop. He's like, oh, okay. And he just stood up and let me pass. And I mean, I was lucky in that instance that he was like, oh, okay. And he just left, because I don't know if it's scary to just exist in a world that just wants to like stare at you for 20 minutes, and I don't know.
No. And that's something that I think about all the time. Mm-hmm. I really do. Like, I'm not going to say I've never done anything creepy. Mm-hmm. If I did, it was like really as a teenager and didn't know better.
Yeah.
But like when you see how old this person was an adult.
He was in his 30s, I
right,
think.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like it's like, damn it, you should just know fucking better.
Yeah.
And I just that in a shitty way, it still fascinates me. Like, holy crap! Like who?
Like being able to feel comfortable in that space to do that.
Yeah.
Like, how are you feeling comfortable right now?
Yeah. That really is. And what do you like? Okay, let's say I was like the sensitive guy. I was like gonna like try to teach that guy better. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck do you say to some like, bro?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So take a half a step back. So I'm just curious. So when you said you decided to start presenting as more feminine, consciously?
Yeah. It was just finding things that I liked, because a lot of the times I would not, I don't know, I wouldn't try with how I looked, and I was really excited to try and look cute, and I like looking cute. And yeah, I did that in college, and yeah, say something, because I'm getting my time all
Well,
off.
okay. Again,
like thinking.
not to be argumentative, but
Yeah.
I'm asking you. So, could just use it because of the word you used. Can
A boy can be cute.
I was trying to think of
Yes.
I was trying to think of the presenting boy. I didn't want to just say boy because someone who's
A masculine presenting?
yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I don't think I tapped into that side of me yet. But yeah, oh my gosh, my friend Skylar, so fucking cute, so fucking hot. Like, he really did try, and I saw it, and we don't talk anymore. We had a falling out, but he, like, just seeing him on Instagram, I'm like, whoo, damn. So it's nice to see a side of me that, like, is, I mean, like, a part of me too is like, yeah, I don't know. I would cut that out.
No, you're fine. You're totally, you're totally fine. So, are we up to now, or was there
I think so. I think I messed up the timing in a little bit because
you're totally fine.
high the whole time. Because I remember being in college before the lockdown, and I had my orange hair. So I think it was before even COVID started that I was like, oh, maybe I'm a girl. Okay, so I'm a girl going to college, and then the lockdown happened, and that's, oh my gosh, no, I'm almost done. That's
You're
fine.
fine.
That's
No,
fine.
Time
is
you're totally
not
fine.
real.
Jay, you're fine. So, all right. So let's just go.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to do every single
That's
thing.
true, that's true, that's true.
Yeah. We can. So I'm gonna be like, hit you with a Barbara Walters kind of question. So like, right now, how comfortable do you feel from where you are in terms of this journey?
I don't know. I think I'm more comfortable than I ever have been.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm comfortable to explore more of my uncomfortability.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like even yesterday.
Oh God, what'd I do?
Oh, even yesterday, Uncle Dave really just.
I made it all about me. It's what I do.
No, I usually, so in my everyday life, I usually dress. I just dress how I want to.
Yeah.
Like, I have my favorite sweaters and shirts and pants and all that. Like, and this week I packed clothes that I have in the back of my closet that I never wear, and they're very tight fitting, I've realized. And this whole week I've been like, oh, I don't like that. I wore these shorts yesterday. They're my favorite pair of shorts. And they were like, I don't like that. Good night.
Bye. And I'm saying it again. I know you've heard it a million times. That soup was the bomb.
Good.
That soup was so good.
It was.
Keep an eye on Uncle Brian.
Okay.
Bye. I dressed more feminine this week, and I was excited to, and I felt.
So okay, again,
Yeah,
because I haven't seen you forever. So how you dress this week is it's more feminine than you usually do. Okay, see, I wouldn't know. I haven't seen you in a while.
Most of the times I put clothes on that I really like, and I'm comfortable throughout the whole day. But then I look in the mirror and I'm like, whoa, that's like I look like a butch lesbian. It's hilarious because I'm like, oh, I don't look gay. And then I end up looking gay. I'm like, oh, well.
Funny, but it's true. Some of my best friends are butch lesbians. So.
Yeah, I love flannels. Flannels aren't the only thing.
Well, look where you live.
That's true. I live in Portland. I know. I have so many beanies. I have 4 different color beanies for the different days. My Monday, Wednesday.
Okay, I was like, do they have different number of days of the week in Portland?
Yeah.
We might need to get you some more beanies.
I know. I have.
Missing a few
Yeah,
days
that's true.
there. Okay.
Weekends I take a break.
Oh,
My
okay.
hair needs to breathe.
Weekdays. Oh, fair enough.
And here, so yeah, I brought all these clothes that I really like, and I really enjoyed putting them on. But it still felt it didn't not look good. I was like, no, yeah, this looks good on me, but it just felt off. It was so. It brought me back to like putting on dresses before I came out as a guy. And it made me so mad. It made me mad again. I just get frustrated because I'm always like, oh, I know who I am. I'm figuring it out. And then I get back to this like, wait, but I guess I don't really know myself as much as I thought I did. Because I thought I put all this work into figuring out who I am and figuring out my gender, they, them, non-binary, and then it all just kind of falls apart again. But I think that's how cycles are.
Wouldn't it have been easier if this was like 20, 30 years ago and you just sociologically you didn't have a choice. You just had to fit.
I just had to.
Yeah.
It would have been.
So it would be easier, but you
be.
would feel like shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Staring at me.
That's okay.
Yeah. And I think about that, too. I think about the ways in which I am exploring my gender and sexuality, and I'm like, damn, I'm really fucking lucky that I'm able to sit with my uncle and talk on this podcast about being non-binary and not getting burned.
Yeah, or the least having tomatoes thrown at you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just. All right, it's kind of making it about me, but so
I'm excited.
no. What I mean is, no, it's still about you, but
Okay.
it's but so like the people you hang with. Mm-hmm. Are there? Are there people within your group who are? When I say like me, I don't mean like old and weird, but I mean like all the privileges, like the cis male. You know, I mean, is it just that, or do you just roll with the queer bunch, so to speak?
Brayden, who lives in the basement of our house, is the token straight friend, or token straight person of the house.
That tends to be me. I'm the token straight most of the lot of time.
Yeah, it's fun to be in Portland and be with other queer people. I hadn't experienced that since, middle school was kind of a whirlwind, but it wasn't as deep and intimate as now. I live with 2 other queer people, and then Brayden in the basement. Love Brayden.
Stick the string guy in the basement.
Yeah, he likes it down there.
That's what he says, because he doesn't want you to beat him up, probably.
There was a lock on the basement door, too, and we would make a joke. We're like, okay, Brayden, you stay down there until you think about what you've done.
What you've done. Maybe we'll put dinner in the little slot.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
And we had a get-together with some friends one night. My my roommate Izzy brought her coworkers from Starbucks, and we were all sitting in the multimedia room, and I was just sitting there. We were talking about something stupid, like, I don't even know, something stupid. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm surrounded right now by a bunch of they-thems. Like, there was like 5.
I've never heard it said that way before, a bunch of they-thems.
There was
That's
like
funny.
5 other non-binary people in the room, and I was like, whoa.
Okay.
And, yeah.
No, hold on. This may already been taken.
Yeah. How many non-binary people does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many? Oh, is that an actual joke?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something.
Oh, okay. No. So I don't know if you know this. So this happens all the time in our conversations, both on the show and just in our outside life, our real life. Anytime anybody says something that sounds like good, like a short thing, I'll ask my new band name.
Oh, yeah.
So at stuartbradesco.com, there's a link to a page that's like through all of the years. There's well over 100 band names, and the they-thems.
The they-thems.
The they-thems is going to get added. It's a new band name.
I love that.
Yeah, it's going to be the new band name going up.
No, we would be such a good band too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody, yeah. It was eye-opening too, because everybody was their own person, and everyone was just doing what they wanted to do. It was sweet. That's the point of my. It was a good feeling. It was a smiling to myself type of feeling.
Well, I'm worried for you though, because if Fox News is right, you'll be marrying a dog and a candle, and the 3 of you will be living on a ranch somewhere. And
in the renter's agreement of the house for our roommates, that was a part of it. So I'm legally bound to that agreement.
We're gonna head out just to pack and stuff. Do you want to text and we'll come back and get you with the cart?
Sure.
You're in a flow, I assume.
We literally got about 10 minutes left.
Go do your thing, and you probably have a meatball.
We have 3 cars.
Oh, that's true.
I'm totally leaving this in the show. I'm totally leaving it.
Please
We do this all the time. I totally leave this in.
Okay.
It's like the old Chris Rock joke. He's on the phone with his girlfriend, trying, like, he's a kid, trying to, like, act all smooth and stuff, and his dad comes on the other phone and goes, "Hey, boy, your pork and meat's are ready." Even though Chris Rock could be problematic, that was a funny joke, though. It was totally.
I love it.
So I don't remember if I told the story on the show, but I haven't told you, so I'm going to tell you the story.
I'm ready.
So as the resident Brandon, is that Braden?
Braden. Yeah.
As resident Braden, this happened a couple months ago. So my wife and I went to a dinner party at our friend's house, and we were the only straight people there. It was all gay guys, right? And Peter and Will, who have actually been on the show before, and just like are 2 of my best friends, and they're spectacular. They're awesome, and not a lot of younger. Well, they weren't like super old, but it was definitely like in my age range, maybe a little bit younger. But We were the only straight people there. But that was no whatever. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay. So at some point, and I think I can say these words. I don't think Peter or Will care. At some point in the evening after dinner, people were kind of in different places of the house doing their own thing. And a group of people ended up in the attic. And they have the attic, he has turned into, like, Dickoff Studio is in the attic of my house. And Peter's turned the attic into this, I don't even know a word for it. It has orange shag carpeting, like from the 70s.
Yeah.
He's a tech guy. He's like a huge in IT, and he's a big tech guy. And he has this. He hooked up a home laser light show to music.
Whoa.
And he and his husband are like they're like bigger stoners than my dad.
I was gonna say, is
of
there
course
drugs
they
involved?
are. Oh my god, of course there are. And so my wife's not into that. Okay, which it's a long story, but anyway, that's not her scene. But like all the cool kids were going up to the attic, and while I don't partake, I just went up because that's where the cool kids were going. So of course, I swear to God, this is true. Of course, there was a bong made of a dildo.
As there are.
Total penis bong, and I'm just kind of sitting there amongst the gays, just as they're all getting high, and passed it to me just like back in the day when I would pass the roach, and I'd be like, no, Dave doesn't do that, and I would pass the roach. No, I'm good, I'm just passing it along. And so I'm sitting next to Andre, who I've known for a while, and Peter was like, he goes, oh man, I got this ukulele, and I'm horrible at it, and he's playing it, and it sounds like he's just like, it was so out of tune. And you could just tell it didn't sound like any musical instrument. I'm like, Pete, man, it's out of tune. He's like, what? And now they've already had hits of the bong, and they're like, what? And I'm like, give me the damn thing. And I happen to have a ukulele tuner on my phone. So it took me 2 minutes, and I sat there and I tuned it. And I'm not musical at all. That's like the most musical thing I've ever done. And I'm like, here, listen. And it's like, oh my God, that's awesome. And so Andre next to me goes, Peter, he doesn't mind pot. He plays the ukulele. Can we keep him? and then things like that happen to me. It's like, and it's not on purpose. I'm not trying to be the in straight, but it's
Right.
like where I just know, like, okay, I'm accepted for being the weird one of the group.
Yeah.
Just because you come in and you be yourself, and
Yeah.
you know, and I didn't get locked in I got locked in the attic, I guess, in this case.
Yeah, I live in the attic, so
Do
it's
you?
a fun
Oh,
place.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, absolutely, and oh no, go.
Oh, I think that's part of being queer is being yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge part. So if you're the token straight person and you're being yourself,
Yeah.
we can notice that.
Yeah.
We notice and we see it and love it.
Oh, it took Peter years to stop asking me, are you a hugger? Do you hug? I'm like, stop it. Come here. Yes, I'm a hugger. I've hugged you 1,000,000 times. Stop asking me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took a long time for me to realize to shut the fuck up. That, I don't have to be the center. Because it was as a teacher and as someone who's like been an activist and running for office, and it's always been important. You got to get people riled up, and you got to be, and no one believes it when I say this. I hate being the center of attention. I don't want to be up on that stage, but it's like nobody else will do it a lot of times.
Right.
But it just took me a while to realize, dude, you're straight and white, and you have all the privileges other than class. Shut the fuck up. Just listen. You don't have to have an answer to everything. Just shut up.
Yeah.
And that's made me so much more relaxed and happy, and to be able to roll with any crowd, no
Yeah.
matter what. You can just fucking sit the fuck down and listen, and just not.
Yeah, and I think I have to do that too in a lot of spaces, in queer spaces, because I also have a big chunk of privilege. Like,
Yep. Yeah.
it's huge, the amount of people who are genderqueer and they aren't allowed to be who they are, or maybe like especially on people of color. It falls on them immensely.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've heard stories. I'm on so many different sides of TikTok, and one of the stories that I hear on TikTok are from queer Black people who say, non-binary white people, can you please stop? Like,
Yeah.
I understand that you're going through your gender thing, but you're also super privileged.
Yeah.
And I have to shut up and listen too.
Be nice if most of us did that.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be much quieter, nicer world.
So much so.
I could hear the birds. You stopped talking for 5 minutes. Thanks.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, we're at about an hour, so I think we're gonna go. I know, like we were told by our executive producer, we have to go pack.
I already packed. I packed before her, so.
Well, I packed light, so I have mine. I could
Oh,
at any
yeah.
moment. If we had a bug out, I could be ready to go in 30 seconds.
And you'll put the, what's it called? The bread that we ate today, because it doesn't have to rise.
Oh, the matzah.
The matzah, you're ready to go with that too.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to be drywalling my bathroom with it.
Oh yeah.
Because it's matzah is both an edible thing, and you can create a new room with it.
Oh, we should do like House of Cards.
Yeah, it's very handy
yeah.
that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not tasty, and it creates balls.
Mm-hmm. And if you're forgot to go to the grocery store, I don't need an extra room. I just need a full stomach, and you're set.
Well, that way you can like go to your local Ace Hardware store, and you can get dinner and your fixing supplies. I'm not good with
It'll hold the
tools, whatever they call it.
chandelier.
Yeah. So, all right. So, folks, well, thanks for tuning in. There's nothing for you to plug, is there? There's no website you have. You're not out there. are you?
I try to
Not
blend
do that?
in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I know my Instagram it's just Jade Citrus Mint. There's no photos. Just that's all there.
Just an egg?
Jade Citrus Mint is a Starbucks drink. And the fact that it doesn't show that I work at Starbucks either.
Didn't we talk about capitalism?
Yes.
Okay.
And every time I don't even go on Instagram, so I haven't changed it.
Oh,
I should
okay, that's
change it.
fair. All right. So, folks, we'll be back probably next week. It may be a day or two late because, we talked about earlier about after the Erotic Arts Festival, I got a lot of editing to do. So it'll happen at some point, but we will be back. I'm going to work on taking pictures for social media, but because of the great debacle of where I kind of lost a job, I can't be in the pictures. Not that y'all need to see my white pasty ass anyway, but we will be back. It's going to be coming back close. And if you like this show, just let us know in the comments. If actually finally use our social media for something good. If you have something you can share that's along the lines we've been talking about, you can hit us up. We're on all the social medias except TikTok. I just felt like and Snapchat. I just felt like it's not my space. You know what I mean? It's like another old white guy does not to be on TikTok or Instagram, but we're on the other one. So please comment when we post this stuff. If you have a story to tell, or if you have something, if you want to tell me, Dave, get out of the gay attic, you don't belong there, that's totally fine too. I'm okay with that.
Good night, Mama Jen.
Good night.
Good night.
We're wrapping up right now, so thanks.
Thank
Is it
you.
good? You good?
Yes.
I don't have to edit?
Bye.
Okay. Ciao, y'all.
Millions are using the greatest phone app ever created. Curbster is filling that need you have to get rid of those pesky, unwanted lovers that just aren't worth the effort.
I met this guy at the Renaissance Festival. I don't know. He looked cute in his tights, and after some mead, I was feeling a bit randy. So we got together. Well, turns out his outfit wasn't the only medieval thing he had going on. Really? God doesn't like doggy? Get the fuck out of here.
Curbster helped Guinevere out. After a quick swipe of the app, Sir Leomer was out of missionary and into the pillory in minutes. Literally. People were throwing rotten cabbage and tomatoes at Leomer, and our maiden was free and clear to find a knight with some real lancing skills. And Curbster is not just for the straight set.
I met this guy at Hot Cross Buns, the new local gakery, and we really hit it off.
I'm such a sucker for assless chaps. But after we hooked up, I found out, really? Log Cabin Republican? Oh, hell no.
Download the Curbster app wherever you get your regular dating apps, and Pornhub, and GayHub.